Hey look, Hero's got a new skill.
He's not here. No more SpongeBob. No more. I may finally have found a place where I can be all alone.
Hey look, Hero's got a new skill. 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 Hey look, Hero's got a new skill.
I gotta get out of here.
Hey look, Hero's got a new skill. Hey look,
Where's the time machine? Where's anything? Where?
Hey guys, welcome back to Team 6K. This is Undead, and today we are going to talk about D heroes. Before we get into that though, be sure to check out our last video if you haven't already. Join the Discord link in the description and follow us on Twitch so you can watch Weatherman and I streaming on Saturday night. D heroes have been meta in Duel Links a bunch of different times, and every time they are one of my favorite decks to play. Every like on this video is a point for Destiny heroes, and every comment on this video is a point for Elemental heroes. Let's see who can win. I bet the D hero squad is stronger. Let's see how it goes, guys. D heroes has been meta a bunch of different times, all because Konami keeps finding ways to validate these three.
Why is it when something happens, it is always you three?
Believe me, Professor, I've been asking myself the same question for 6 years.
Their effects are definitely nice, but they are really secondary to the overall game plan of the deck. So I'm going to do things a little different and talk about them first before the game plan. Decider can't be attacked by level 6 or higher monsters, and on summon he will activate an effect that will apply on end phase. So on end phase it just happens rather than activates. That puts a hero from grave back in your hand. Also, if this guy's in your grave and you would take burn damage, you can negate that damage by returning this guy to your hand. It's kind of funny that the opponent's big monsters that aren't Lynx or Xyz can't attack this guy, but realistically, they're going to remove it by card effect or attack it with a different monster anyway. The effect that returns off damage isn't likely going to happen at all, but if the opponent's playing Trickstars, it could be kind of nice to have this to return to the hand for a follow-up. It's definitely pretty cool that this guy can get something back in your hand on end phase, but the most relevant thing about this guy is that he's a decently sized D hero that you can normal summon. Drill Dark on summon can summon another D hero from the hand that has equal or less attack than this guy, and he's going to be 1600 usually, and also this guy can do piercing damage. That piercing damage has come up for me a lot in the past, but I wouldn't be surprised if anybody forgot about it. Summoning another D hero from hand could definitely be pretty cool for Xyz or Link plays, but the most relevant thing about this guy is that he's a decently sized D hero that you can normal summon. Celestial, when it attacks, can destroy a face-up spell card on the opponent's field and burn the opponent for 500 damage. And while you have no cards in your hand and this guy's in your grave, the turn after it was sent to grave, you can banish it and another D hero to draw 2 cards. It isn't that likely that the opponent is going to have a face-up spell. And in the cases that they do, it isn't likely that this guy's going to be attacking to get that destroy and burn off. But it's definitely nice that on a follow-up turn, this guy can draw 2 cards for you. But the most relevant thing about this guy is that he's a decently sized D hero that you can normal summon. The reason why we care so much that we can normal summon these guys is because of the new skill Destiny effect. It can activate only during a duel that you have normal summoned a D hero. Once you've done that once, you don't need to do it again. But you do need to get that done the first time. And the ones we talked about are the best options out of all that are available, even though they aren't super amazing. It does feel weird to say Celestial isn't amazing because that grave effect can be absolutely killer, but you do have to wait a turn for it, so we can't say it's just as good as some of the other busted advantage cards in the game. So the skill itself has 3 effects, the first of which sets a pulley on your field and puts a Mally in your grave, both from outside of the deck. Mally banishes itself from grave to summon another copy of itself from the deck, and normally we only have 2 in the game, but the skill giving us the third means that we can basically use it 2 times. So basically the idea is you normal summon your D hero, activate the skill, use Mally to summon another Mally, use that set pulley to get into your fusion place.
Oh yeah bro, I would 1-card fusion play.
Every time D heroes has been meta, they've been going mass change into Anki, but now we get to show some love to the actual D hero fusions, and there's a couple that you might want to go into. Dystopia, and Dystopia is the interruption of the archetype. It's any 2 Ds to summon, so it's easy. and on summon it takes one of your level 4 or lower D heroes in grave and burns the opponent equal to half of their opponent's attack. Since your Ds are 1600, that's 800 burn. 800 isn't something to snuff at, that's a fifth of our starting life total. But the main thing we care about here is that if this guy's attack is different in any way to its original attack, you get to quick effect destroy any card on the field. Then his attack goes back to normal, destroying any card at all, including back row, also not caring about whether it's face up or face down. That's pretty versatile, so it's good that D heroes now have an interruption at all, let alone one that's usable in as many situations as this one is.
But Undead, we have to make his attack different. How are we gonna do that?
I'm not finished.
The second effect of this skill is to raise your level 8 or higher monsters by 200 attack. And this guy's level 8. The skill's only once per duel, but that's still a free first activation of our Dystopia, and the one interruption might be all we need to win the game. But hypothetically, if we did need to activate it again, we can actually boost its attack again using
Dangerous! That girl is so dangerous!
This guy can also be summoned with a couple of Ds. Very easy in this deck. And it has a quickie to discard a card to send any D hero from deck to grave. Then till the end of the turn, all of your D heroes gain 200 attack for every D hero in your grave. And the fact that this is a quickie means you could do this on the opponent's turn to boost up your Dystopia, to let it pop something again. The fact that it sends a D hero to grave is great too, because of any of the D heroes that might get benefits from being in grave, like the Celestial for the draw 2 on your follow-up. The fact that Dangerous is level 6 means that alongside Mali, we can go into a rank 6 with it, to potentially interrupt our opponent in a different way. The two rank 6s we can use to interrupt the opponent are Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, and Constellar Ptolemy M7. Beatrice has a quick effect to detach a material to send any card from deck to grave. Any card. You could use this to send the D heroes that have good grave effects like Celestial to the grave. You could also send Breakthrough skill from deck to grave, but on your follow-up turn, there are less monster-based interruptions for you to play through. On the opponent's turn though, since this is a quick effect, we can send Tackle Crusader from deck to grave, because when it's sent to grave, you can flip one of your opponent's monsters down, which can be nice to prevent ignition effects, or to prevent that monster from being used as Synchro Exceeds or Link material. Then our other option is Constellar Ptolemy M7. This one isn't a quick effect, and he doesn't do anything that interrupts our opponent. However, certain hands can be taken advantage of by using this guy, and Dangerous, to make life difficult for the opponent. If we have two Destiny heroes in our hand, we can normal summon one of them, then use the first effect of our skill to get a Poly and a Malicious in grave. Then we can banish Malicious to summon another copy from deck, then we can use the D hero we normal summoned and the Mali to go into Dangerous. Then we can use that second Malicious in grave to summon the third from deck. Then we have two level 6s on the field. Then we can discard the second D hero from hand to grave by the effect of Dangerous to send Destiny hero Dark Angel from deck to grave. Then you can overlay Malicious and Dangerous into M7. Detach the Malicious in order to add the Dark Angel to hand. In the hand, Dark Angel has the effect that if we have 3 Destiny heroes in grave, which we will, being the 2 Destiny heroes we opened and the Malicious, we can discard the Dark Angel. Then once it is in the grave from this effect, it can target a D hero in our grave and summon it to our opponent's field in defense position. With this effect, we will target itself so that it's summoned to the opponent's field.
But Undead, why would we give our opponent a free monster?
Well, Dark Angel has the continuous effect that negates all spell activations from the duelist that controls this card. So giving it to our opponent means that they are going to be locked out of using any spells, and that can be quite relevant depending on the opponent. Some decks might not care about this though, so definitely use this combo cautiously. Some duelists choose not to use this combo at all, and that's completely fine and understandable. Instead of the M7, you could run a Photon Strike Bouncer to negate monster effects. Regardless of how we choose to interrupt the opponent, chances are we are going to have a Malicious in grave at the end of our turn, or more importantly, at the beginning of our next turn. Why this is relevant is that the third effect of the skill lets us return a banished D hero back into our deck in order to search for D hero plasma, and then shuffle a card from our hand into the deck. We are going to have a banished Mali, so shuffling it back into the deck is going to allow a copy of Mali in the grave to summon yet another copy from the deck. That might be all we need for a follow-up play. It might also be what we need in order to summon the plasma that the skill just gave us. Plasma is perhaps the scariest thing about this deck, but it has a pretty heavy cost, so it's not going to happen that often. It can special summon itself by sending 3 of your monsters to the grave, but once it's on the field, it can continuously negate all of your opponent's monsters. Because it negates them continuously, they won't be able to respond to the negate. It simply happens, and it keeps happening.
But wait! There's more!
It can target one of your opponent's monsters and equip that monster to itself as an equip spell. and it will gain attack equal to half the attack of the monster it took. Now he's not only negating all of your opponent's monsters, but he's probably bigger than all of them too. If you don't want to lose to this guy, do everything you can to make sure you stop it with a back row when it's summoned, or you stop them from getting 3 monsters on the field to tribute for this guy. I just want to point out that other than the Dark Angel play, everything I just mentioned is achievable due to opening a single D hero in your opening hand, meaning that this deck can have a 1-card combo into Dystopia with follow-up or Beatrice with follow-up, and Beatrice is preferred by most players, as while flipping a monster down isn't as versatile as destroying any card, it can get around Dingirsu's protection effect, and the versatility of Beatrice also makes it easier to get a more explosive follow-up turn, especially with a dangerous sending a Celestial. The fact that this deck is a 1-card combo deck allows us to fill our deck with a bunch of powerful cards that can't usually get our play started, because we don't have to worry so much about getting our play started, because a single D hero will get the job done by himself. Because of this, most D hero players play a bunch of back row staples to give more opportunities to interrupt the opponent in different ways. Other than back row staples though, there are other powerful cards D heroes can play in order to give them stronger follow-up, or more powerful opening plays. Even though the skill won't let us summon anything except D heroes, it still lets us summon generic things from the extra deck. So we are playing a small elemental hero package in here. 2 copies of Liquid Soldier, just to use as fusion material, and 1 copy of Miracle Fusion. If we happen to open the Miracle Fusion, we could send a Liquid Soldier to grave with a Beatrice, and we will be able to use it alongside a D hero from grave in order to fusion summon an E hero fusion. If we happen to open Liquid Soldier, we could fuse with it using the guaranteed polymerization that the skill gives us to go into an E hero fusion too. Regardless of how we fuse, if we use Liquid Soldier as material, it will let us draw 2 cards, then discard a card once per turn. The E hero fusion we would be going into is Elemental Hero Sunrise, who on summon can search a Miracle Fusion so that we could summon another copy of itself. It makes your monsters gain 200 attack for every attribute you control, so that's a nice bonus way to give Dystopia another attack boost. Also, if one of your other heroes battle, then it can target and destroy a card on the field once per turn. If we feel like we want to use our Poly for our Dystopia or our Dangerous, but we don't have another way to fusion summon, that's okay, because D heroes can also play Fusion Recovery. Fusion Recovery takes a polymerization and a monster used as fusion material in our grave and adds them back to our hand to potentially fuel another fusion summon. Since the skill guarantees that we will always have Poly, we can play this instead of playing more copies of Poly, since this is basically both Poly and a bonus fusion material. Other than that, we do actually have to play a more accessible way to get the Poly back. We can use 2 of our heroes as link material to go into extra hero Wonder Driver. If a hero is summoned to a zone that he points to, he can add back a fusion spell, so you could get back a polymerization or a Miracle Fusion. Most likely polymerization, but technically you can also get back Fusion Recovery for even more bonuses. In terms of how the deck actually looks, well, here's what mine looks like. You can definitely feel free to play it differently. 25 to 30 cards allows us to not have too many D heroes in our hand, so we can instead have other powerful cards that can let us gain even more advantage. So anywhere between 25 and 30 is standard. Since Beatrice is limited to 3, if you wanted to play a limited to 3 trap, you can only play 2 copies of it. Other than that though, there are a lot of good options in the game for back row, so as long as they interrupt the opponent's plays, it's all good. I've got Destiny drawn here. It's a level up reward from Aster. You don't technically have to play this card because it's not going to be that good in your hand if you only have 1 D hero in your hand and you would prefer to normal summon. That situation that you draw this and don't want to use it is rare enough for me to validate playing it. You can definitely cut it if you prefer. At the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you how to build your deck, I'm here to show you how to play it. So let's just get into some combo tutorials, shall we? Alright, so for this first combo, we're going to be going into Dystopia. All you need is a D hero. This guy has an on-summon effect. We're not going to use it just to show that it's basically the same as anything else. We're going to use that skill to get a Poly on the field and a melee in the graveyard real quick. Then we can use the melee from the graveyard, summon itself to the field, well, another copy of itself. And we can use that set Poly to go into our Dystopia. And it's really that simple. Then we can use the second effect of this skill to, yeah, of course we do burn the opponent for a bit. Then we're going to use the second effect of this skill to boost ourselves up by, you know, a little bit of attack so we can use the effect. Set any back row if you have any back row, of course. And that's the first combo. It's very simple. So second combo, pretty much the exact same thing. You just need 1 D hero to normal summon. So you do that. Use the first effect of the skill, put a melee engrave and a Poly on the field, activate that melee, you know, summon another copy of it from the deck. This time though, when we use our Poly, we're going to use the 2 on the field to go into Dangerous. Then we can use that melee from grave, summon another copy from the deck, And if we do not have a Celestial Engrave already, we can use the Dangerous to discard a card and send a melee, so that next turn we can draw 2 cards. You know what I mean? So very simple. Do that if you want. Then we use those two to go into a Beatrice. Once we go into Beatrice on our own turn, we detach one of our materials in order to send any card from deck to grave. In this case, you know, on the opponent's turn, we're going to use Tackle Crusader to interrupt them, but on our turn, we send a copy of Breakthrough Skill, so that on our follow-up turn, we have 1 less interruption to play through. Then if you have any back row, you obviously set that back row, and that's the second combo. Very, very simple. So for the third combo, what you need is 2 D heroes. Normal summon one of them, activate the skill just like normal, get a Poly on the field, and a melee engrave. Activate that melee engrave to get another one from the deck. Use Poly, go into Dangerous again, using the ones on field. Don't use the one in hand. Then we're going to use the melee to get another one from deck. Here, you're going to use the Dangerous to discard the D hero. You have to discard the D hero. Then you send a Dark Angel from deck to grave. You have to send the Dark Angel. And we're going to use these two to overlay into M7. M7 doesn't have a quick effect, but like I explained in the combo, you detach the Malicious. I like detaching Malicious, but you don't have to. I get the Dark Angel back, and while you have 3 D heroes engraved, which you will have with this combo, you can activate that Dark Angel, send it to grave, target itself, summon it to the opponent's field. They want to use spells, they can't do it. We can use spells, they can't use spells though. So that's, you know, a very simple combo. If we happen to have more extension, of course, we can go into fusion plays. If we have back row, we can set back row, of course, you know what I mean? So very simple 3 combos of the deck, basically. So you can pretty much see this deck as a control deck. The plays are pretty easy and relatively minimal. The finishes are explosive, and the majority of the brain work of this deck is going to be about interrupting the opponents at the right time, as the combo itself doesn't take any thinking at all. That said though, the Dark Angel combo can make a lot of games completely brainless. Turning off your opponent's ability to use spells can be completely backbreaking. But yeah guys, let's just get into the replay, shall we? Alright, so my opponent is playing Raging Pendulum here, and this guy, he's not the best All Eyes player, so you're going to see some things that are a bit weird here. It's fine, I mean, he's still playing, and the deck is pretty broken even if you misplay with it. Yeah, he does some definitely pretty questionable things. He has a full hand to Pendulum Summon with, but he still only Pendulum Summons 1 and then sets a monster. The only reason I'm showing this replay is because I just want to show off the going second capabilities of this deck, and I felt like this replay did a great job of showing that. So I have the Rhoda, must be nice to be me. I'm just going to get that Drill Dark, but I already had the combo. I'm going to normal summon that Drill Dark, try to summon that Celestial from hand, use the skill to get that Mally and that Poly. Then we can use those two to go into a Wonder Driver. That's fantastic because it gives us better long game. We can fusion summon a Sunrise using the cards in hand. I can basically, the Wonder Driver gives me back Poly. Sunrise gives me a Miracle Fusion, and Liquid Soldier lets me draw 2, discard 1. I unfortunately did draw into my 1 copy of Miracle Fusion, so I didn't get the search for Sunrise, but that's okay. Mally's going to summon another of itself from the deck. Hell yeah, I'm going to use Poly now. Now I can go into Dystopia, and before summoning anything else, I'm going to use its effect to pop something. Pop in that back row. The reason I do that is because I do intend on summoning another Sunrise, which will boost its attack up again, so I want to get that done first. So yeah, gonna get these 2 back, my goodness. Then I can use that Miracle Fusion, banishing 2 from grave to get out that Sunrise, boosting me up again. I attack, pop his card, then I can attack, that's GG's. If you have a lot of monsters, this deck is very good to go in second. So guys, this is a cautionary tale about reading cards. So of course I do have the combo here. I have the full combo, which means I'm going to be able to do a lot because I do have 2 D heroes in my opener. I can go into Dangerous, summon another Mally from deck, then discard one of my D heroes to send a Dark Angel. Then I can go into Ptolemy M7, add that Angel back to my hand, then I can activate that Angel, summon itself to the opponent's field. Now he's locked out of spells. Fusion Recovery is going to get me back a Fusion Material and a Poly. I got a couple D heroes in hand, and now I can use both of them to go into another interruption. So Dystopia. So I got this guy that can pop anything 1 time, and then they can't use spells, so that's pretty nice. He's playing Speedroids here. He's doing his combo here. He has his materials on the field. I have to destroy one of them, otherwise he's going to be able to negate me at some point. So he either has a non-tuner special summon or a tuner special summon. Regardless, if he has it, he has it. So I'm going to pop the one I think that is most likely he doesn't have. So I'm going to pick that one. He's going to use a spell. Nope. You're going to negate yourself, fella. Oh, he uses a spell again? Nope. You're going to negate yourself, fella. What, bro? Read cards, bro. It's time to start reading cards, bro. Anyway, I'm gonna activate that skill just so I can get another Mally in the deck, so I can summon it using my other Mally. And then I got 2 engrave, so I can banish them both to draw 2 cards. Of course, it would be 2 monsters. That's my luck. But I still have game. Ptolemy is gonna bounce one of his things. I can attack, 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 and that's easy GG's for me. So I'm going first again. Unfortunately, my hand does have the 1 brick Tackle Crusader in it. Technically speaking, I do have a couple bricks in here. The Mallies, I also don't want to open them, but it's not too bad if I do have a normal summonable D hero. But Tackle Crusader is never good in the hand, so that's unfortunate. Otherwise, I might have actually gone into the Beatrice play here against Speedroids, but nah, it's not going to be like that. But anyway, I do have the standard play. I'm going to go into Dystopia and set 2 back row. Very, very simple. We're gonna burn the opponent a bit, of course, you know what I mean. Set my back row, his turn, Dark Hole. Yeah, it must be nice. So, win the Wind Channeler, okay. Terratop, okay. Word, got you. And then he's gonna summon it. I'm gonna warning point it, of course. So now he is forced to end his turn, basically. But he is going to send a Triad Dice at the end of his turn. So that's great for him, because he can banish it from grave at any time to negate the next attack. And what is so great about that is every time I activate a card effect, he can sit there for 30 seconds and think about whether or not he wants to activate it, even though it doesn't negate anything I do. So I'm going to use the skill, get that Mally back so I can summon another one from the deck, as I'm doing here. And, you know, of course, I do get the terrible top deck of the Dark Angel, so that's kind of annoying for me, because it doesn't help me in any way. But you know, I can at least put the Crusader back, get another D hero to potentially fuse with, normal summon the Dark Angel that I can go into a Wonder Driver with. Then I can use a Mally to summon another Mally from deck, using the Wonder Driver to get my Poly back. Then Poly can activate, using these 2 to go into Sunrise. Sunrise can get me a Miracle Fusion. I can use Miracle Fusion again. Oh, and that's lethal, bro. Oh, and that's lethal, bro. Oh my goodness, it's about to happen, it's about to happen. Draw 2 cards? Yeah, it would be 2 monsters. It's always reinforcement and another D hero, bro. It can never be back row for me, bro. But anyway, I still got lethal. I'm just flexing at this point. Attack, pop him, and then attack again. Oh, you negate my attack? I don't care. GG's. I think D Heroes might be the most competitive deck from the new box, potentially alongside Ursarctics, as it generates so much card advantage, has such easy access to its plays, and it's just got so much room for impactful and tech slot. And it's got a much better matchup against Speedroids. But yeah, guys, let me know how you guys feel about D Heroes. If you have any questions about the deck in general or about how it operates, be sure to leave them in the comments or in Discord and we can talk about it there. If you like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, hit the bell to get notified every time we make a new video, and I've been Undead from Team 6K, signing out.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be with a song if they wanted the weatherman. I ain't asking to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean, so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream, so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon, they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast. For real.